Hello and welcome to the Sports Betting Illuminated podcast. Hey David, it is so nice seeing you here. Hey Ken Leo, good morning. And Chuck Science, your chats are coming through from Rumble, so that is some good news. So nice seeing all of you here today. I told you on the last stream I was going to wear a bikini, and it is getting hot again, so thought I would bring the bikini party back. Hey Super James, how are you doing this morning? So for those of you who are new here, my name is Ariel. I am the author of Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit, and I have just been so excited seeing my book climb through the Amazon book ranks and just seeing all you guys purchase it out there, order it, learn a little bit about AI, the sports books, and how to play with the house, not against it. It's just been so wonderful. Hey Tyler, nice seeing you here. So great seeing all of you today, and I just wanted to give you a quick little rundown. I know last stream we were having some internet issues, but this stream it seems like everything is working pretty well. Hey Noel, hey Spencer, good morning. So nice seeing all of you here, and thank you so much for joining the stream. We are just getting started. Of course, I always like to start off my streams on a high note. I like to sit back, relax, and get my mind right to win some wagers. I know we're all still waking up around here. Maybe you're still drinking your morning coffee. That is cool too. I'm going to be starting my day off with a little bit of Waken and Bacon. So the strain that I am smoking today is called Maui Wowie. Very tropical, fruity tasting, and just overall, like, this is the beach vibe. I think, you know, it's really that time in the summer where everyone wants to be somewhere tropical. I certainly do, and excited to go to the beach, smoke some Maui Wowie there. And yeah, it just kind of brings that pineapple, like, breezy energy vibes. So let's sit back and enjoy it. Hey Derek, so nice seeing you here bright and early. Ooh, Georgia pie. I haven't tried that one before. I'm going to add that to my list. Cheers. I love it. Alrighty, so I just wanted to give you my current ROI so everyone is updated. My current Major League Baseball ROI is 36.3%. We have had a 65.8% win rate, and so far we've played 158 units. Like, I can't even believe that. Just a lot of units so far. So we're having a pretty good season, sitting around the 36% rate, which is really good, really good. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Our all-time high for Major League Baseball ROI was in 2023, wrapping up the season with a 32% ROI, and this year it's already even higher. Yeah, I agree with you. The Yankees are not, I don't know. Today, I just, looking at these lines, lots of Joe money on the board. So just watch out for that. Be careful. And yeah, I don't know. So we're just going to start with the play of the day. So my best bet of the day, and I know yesterday I was saying laddering up, doubling up on that. Ooh, any dogs today? Well, my best bet of the day actually is a total. You know, these lines have been a little shaky. I mean, especially this season in baseball in particular. I mean, I know you guys called me the run line whisperer in the past, but the run lines have just not been there this year. I've been looking at them, and, you know, there just hasn't been, like, the usual signs and parameters that I look for. Well, let's look at some of these totals too, because you could still get some plus money here as well, just by, like adjusting the lines by a point. Okay, you're gonna take the athletics team total over. Interesting. Well, my best bet of the day is the Giants versus the White Sox, going under 8. Seriously, this opened up at under 8.5, minus 120. Of course, it's gonna move, but they moved it pretty hard, pretty fast to under 8, minus 115. Bunch of pros jumped in here. I'm seeing a ton of pro money here, so that is pretty interesting. I like seeing all the pros move towards the under, and then the sports book is obviously moving it as well, so love to see that happening, and I like that as my best bet of the day. This underplay is looking very solid in this Giants White Sox game. Okay, so you like this too? You like the underplay? Yeah. All right. I like it. I like when our handicapping experts from the audience jump in with their plays. Love seeing that. It's great. So this is looking like a solid under. This is my best bet of the day. I wanted to move up the 2-minute drill a little bit early for you guys today. And I felt like we had so much fun last time. It was really a true learning experience, and I think we're going to do it again. So we're going to look at all of these bets, and I'm just going to throw out there some betting strategies, some bets, and we're going to examine them. Are they sharp bets or are they square bets? Because all of the time, I'm sure you guys know, all your friends out there are making bets all the time saying, oh, should I bet on this team? Should I bet on that? Should I bet on this? And how can you differentiate, even with all of that noise, a sharp versus square bet? And it's sometimes just by running these drills and putting it to practice, looking at the numbers, and also, noticing signals where other people around you might just be betting based off their emotions. We're talking heads on the TVs are betting based off of their emotions. We see that all the time, though. That's nothing new. But, even peer pressure is real, so... I'm really glad you like the sharp versus square bit. I just feel like it's a really wonderful learning experience. So let's start with the first bet, all right? Blindly betting on the Dodgers at home. Is this sharp or square? Feel free to write your answers in the comments here. I will be checking them, reading them, and yeah. So betting blindly on the Dodgers at home. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Oh my god. New York bettors are hitting the in-game and parlay so hard. The profits in New York have doubled. Doubled? Wow. That is crazy. I guess blindly was the key, definitely. But how many people do that just because they're playing at home? We've all heard this before, right? Square, square, square. All right. Super James, Chuck Science, Ken, you guys are all nailing it. Love it. All right. That is square. First of all, think about this. Public teams, like these huge teams with ginormous fan bases, like little Los Angeles Dodgers, first of all, they're already overpriced. So, the sharp better, you're looking at what is the value in this bet. You're not looking at the name. You're detaching yourself from your, team bias. And that's okay. That's okay. Oh, you're liking the Yankees under. Interesting. I'll take a look at that pretty soon too. Because I have seen that moving, but looks like things are kind of hitting equilibrium on that total. I was actually looking more towards the over, not Yankees, but it kind of seemed to have hit equilibrium. All right, here's the next one for our 2-minute drill. Playing reverse line moves when money hits the dog. Is this sharp or square? This one's a little bit trickier. So take some time to think about it. I'll repeat the question. Playing reverse line moves when money hits the dog. That is funny. You are showing your East Coast roots. Ooh, I love it. Our super sharps are coming in and saying this is a sharp bet. I love it. Congratulations, Chuck, Tyler, Super James, Ken. You guys are all correct. This is sharp. For example, if 65% of the bets are in favorite, but the line drops from minus 160 to minus 140, sharps see that there's respected money hitting the underdog, and they are often going to follow that, especially after the sportsbook is moving this line. It's, something to watch out for. So congratulations. That was a really tricky one, and you guys all nailed it. So seriously, give yourselves a pat on the back. That was incredible. You guys are getting so smart. I love it. All right. What about this one? Fading a 5+ ERA pitcher without checking the advanced metrics. Is this sharp or square? I mean, we have people on here all the time. I see it in the comments section. I see it in, especially when I was doing a lot of social media posting every single day, like all the time I would see this, being talked about, like ERA. And yes, ERA is important. You guys are right. That is square. ERA is important, but at the same time, ERA counts for a lot of different factors in there, which, a lot of it is randomness. A lot of it has to do with other players. So just looking at ERA isn't good enough, especially when we have accessibility to like all of these different statistics, such as, the xERA. It's a lot more mathematically correct than just looking at the ERA. It's looking at the expected, instead. So it's actually creating a real prediction, but also taking out some of the elements of randomness that just naturally happen in baseball. So you could look at the xERA, you could look at the FIP, you could look at the xFIP. There are so many good, wonderful statistics out there that just looking at the ERA, which a lot of people want to do, it's easy. It is in all of the sports betting articles whenever people are talking about it. But the stats are out there. Seriously, the good numbers are out there. So I just wish people would start talking about them more. No, I think he doesn't come to the early streams. That's okay, Check Science. He doesn't come to the early streams, but he did make sure to put in all of my links so that everyone can stay in touch with me, follow my free daily emails just by going to arielcalista.com, clicking the stay in touch button. He also posted my Substack, which I am posting a ton of new sports betting articles. It's great if you want to become a better handicapper. It's like the coaching corner in the free daily emails, like that fun little section where, we talk about what's going on in the sports betting world, in the sports books, all of that, and also even handicapping tips, but it's different. Like, it's not the same thing repeated. It's different, it's a deeper dive, and I love that I could even put like code and scripts into Substack for those of you out there who, maybe want to just start playing around with programming. So, yeah. Did he instruct people to hit the thumbs up button? I don't remember, but I hope so. I would love if you guys hit the thumbs up button. That really does help my stream. I'm just a small streamer, but it really helps in the algorithm. I hope. But I do love seeing the thumbs ups, and yeah, follow along if you haven't already. Let's go into this next bet. All right, overvaluing starters. What do you think? Is this sharp or square despite modern bullpen usage? Is this a sharp bet or a square bet? Yes, thank you, Ryan. It is a great day to have a great day. I hope you caught my best bet of the day, which is the under in the Giants-White Sox game. So thanks for coming in, Brian. And that's the only bet we've gone over so far. We have been playing a 2-minute drill. I like it. Super James, you have it in evidence right there. That is right. That is a square bet. Sharps are pricing bullpens heavily, especially in the second half when people's arms are taxed, and that just happens. Okay, what about this one? This one's a little tricky too. Betting unders in day games after night games. What do you guys think about that? Betting unders in day games after night games. Is this sharp or is it square? Feel free to write it in the comments and just feel free to just throw it out there. Ooh, sharp. One sharp, one square. Ooh, this one is a tricky one. Ooh, it looks like a lot of you guys are leaning towards a square. But actually, this is pretty sharp. Pitchers often have the edge, especially like if travel is involved and hitters are more fatigued. You know, the benches are getting rotated and the bullpens are fresher. So, something interesting to think about. Yeah, now let's move on to this next one. Betting revenge angles from earlier in the season. Is this sharp or square? Or just revenge angles in general. Don't the books know? Yes, the books do know. Super James. The books do know about that. But a lot of bettors don't. A square. Well, you guys are right. That is square. This is Major League Baseball. This is not the same emotions that are tied to something like college baseball or, you know, most of these college sports where they really do have these like revenge matches. These are professional guys. They're going out there and, you know, every match is like a different match. It's something to analyze separately. Sharply square. That is funny. I haven't heard that one before. I like it. I like it a lot, Spencer. All right. So yeah, that is pretty square. You know, just analyze as you go into these games. Make sure to analyze them as their own separate games. I even tell that to people all the time, especially like even in double headers. Like, look at each game like it's its own separate game. Do a full analysis. You know, don't just, oh, well, I'm gonna fade this team because this team won in the first half. Analyze each game separately. All right, let's look at some of these games. You know, there are some things developing. There are some things, a lot of things are kind of hitting equilibrium. What I've seen so far, just so you guys know, is there has been a lot of Joe money out there on the board today, a lot of square money out there. So yeah, Joe, square, that's like the general public, kind of like the uninformed casual bettors who are just kind of like, hey, I like this guy today, you know? or doing some of these square moves like, hey, I think this is a revenge spot, you know? Like, these are the guys out there that are throwing the money around today, and I've seen a lot of it. So just want to be careful, you know, to not really get too caught up with the Joes, and we're really just going to choose our spots wisely. Super James knows how to nail those exact score plays. Like, that is beyond to me. I have no idea how he does that. I mean, he just came in and just crushed our contest, and like that was like on the first day of the contest, and I was like, oh, okay. Wow, exact score for like plus 4,200, I think it was. I'm trying to remember the exact number, but it was crazy. And everyone else was hitting like plus 100s, like plus 110s. Oh, Giants 5-2. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Well, thanks for your exact score analysis, Super James. I think that's one is an easier one, check size, to nail. All right. So, San Diego Padres versus the Reds. This is a 4 o'clock game, and this is one of the games that I've seen starting to move. I'm looking at the under here. It went under 9 and it opened up under 9.5. Even money went to under 9.5, minus 115 on mixed pro money. Then right now it's still sitting there. It's still sitting there. So it has been moving. I like how it moved from under 9.5, even money to minus 115. So it's on the move. The pros are jumping on this under as well. Lots of pro money. So I like to see that happen, especially in a day where there's so much Joe money on the board. Seeing the sports books and the sharps move in the same direction here is pretty exciting. So yeah, I do like the under here. That game I feel pretty strongly about. I feel, yeah, so I mean really the two games I really like today are both unders. I know everyone likes to play the overs, but I am looking at the under in the Giants White Sox game, and yeah, this under also in the Padres Reds game. Lots of pro money on this, and pretty much every other game on the board is so many Joes. Like, let's take this Athletics versus Yankees game for a second. Let's just talk about it. I know was talking about it earlier, so let's just analyze it, and I'm gonna show you like that there's a lot of money from Joe's coming in. First of all, the run line on the Yankees went from minus 1.5, minus 118 to minus 139. So it is moving, you know. I would typically say this is moving in the right direction, but then you start analyzing the money. This is moving on a lot of Joe money. This isn't Vegas taking a stand, and honestly, sitting at minus 139 right now is not looking appealing to me. Then the total here, I've been watching this. It opened up over 9, minus 115. Went to over 9.5, minus 112. Then it pulled back a little bit. Like, this was interesting. It went to minus 105 after already moving out to minus 112. There was some level 1 pro money on the over, but at this point, especially because the sports books, you know, the sports books are moving all the way out to minus 115, and then they start pulling back. And I would say, like, yeah, minus 285 is the Yankees money line. Yeah, I don't like that. And then this total, just because they moved out and then they started pulling back, I'm just staying away from it. It looks like it's hit equilibrium point where the sports books are happy, and you know, there's kind of enough money on both sides, and yeah. Is that the amount of is that the cross-eyed Super James? All right. Another game that I've seen with a lot of Joes on over. Love it. This Twins versus Tigers game at 1 o'clock. The total moved from over 8.5, minus 110 to over 9, minus 120. So it was moving. I kind of thought, okay, like even an over 9 at minus 120 does typically seem like it's going to move out more, you know, maybe to over 9.5 at least. But it actually pulled back a little bit to minus 117. And there's just a lot of Joes on the over here. So Vegas isn't really doing too much here. Then The Mariners Rangers game is at 4:06 p.m. Eastern. You know, this has been moving a little bit. This game hasn't like really caught my interest that much, but I will let you know that this Texas money line went from plus 118 to plus 104 with level 1 money on Seattle. So seeing that move just a little bit, you know, with some of the Seattle money, keep your eye on this. But for me personally, right now, it just hasn't quite developed into the level of a play at this moment. So keep your eye on this. It is a 4 o'clock game, so of course, like, anything could happen until then. And I don't have a bet here, even though it does seem like this Texas money line is starting to develop. I also am looking at this Blue Jays Red Sox game. It's another 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern game, and I'm looking at this total as well. This total opened over 9, minus 105, went to minus 116 on level 2 money. This is interesting. I think this one could develop. And there's level 2 money here. So more money than the last game that we're just looking at with Texas. There's level 2 money here. It's moving pretty significantly, so I would say keep your eye on this. Okay, you're taking Seattle over 4.5. Interesting. Yeah, Coomer Rocker's not good. What is the total in that game right now? It's sitting at 7.5. Minus 120 on the over. Even money on the under. I see a lot of money on the over in this game, which is pretty interesting. Open over 8, minus 110. Sitting at over 7.5 now. It's interesting. But yeah, so you're taking the team total there. Cool. Alrighty. I do see a lot of money on the Mariners, like a lot of money. I think the money has grown like even more. I was calling it like level 1 money before, but I would say that's probably even like hitting level 2, level 3 right now. Just because it's grown since like the last time I checked on it. So it does seem like a lot of people are taking the Mariners, which is pretty interesting. I guess a lot of people feel very confident about them today. All right, so let's see what happens. It's exciting. Then I said the Jays Red Sox over looks like it could develop. Keep your eye on this. And finally, I am watching one more total. This hasn't quite developed, so I haven't placed a bet on it yet. But I would say keep your eye on it. Just, you know, see what happens here. This Cubs-Astros game is happening at 7 o'clock tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. The under opened up at 8.5 even money. And then it went to under 8.5, minus 117 against the level 2 money on the over. So this line is moving opposite of the money. This is kind of interesting because I would expect the sports books to move this line with the money. Hey there. Rocky Cobra. So you're doing a parlay, Brewers money line and Othani. Interesting. Okay. I am just looking at this Cubs-Astros game, seeing if there's anything else happening here, but it just seems like the sportsbook is moving in the opposite direction of the money. It's still sitting at minus 115 everywhere. So, I don't know. It's interesting. It is interesting. A lot of money is coming in on the over, though. Ooh, some spots have even moved it to minus 120, so that's something to watch out for as well. Like, you know, if the sportsbook is moving the line and the general public is betting the opposite way, I'd rather play with a house. I'm going to play with a sports book in a way that they're moving. But like I said, this just hasn't quite developed yet. But definitely something to keep your eye on. Yeah, exactly. Seattle Mariners, like the line, yeah, there is a lot of money coming in on the Mariners. So I'm kind of thinking this is really like starting to develop into a bit of a play, especially because the line is moving in the right direction, and now all the sharps are coming in. So I like to see that happen. I think, yeah, I think Noel, you found a really good one here. So I like it. Yeah. That is true. Yeah, Kansas City. So those are all of the games that I'm looking at on the board for today. There's, like I said, there's a ton of Joe money on the board, but you know, only 2 bets that I really, really like at this moment. You know, I am being a little more selective because there's just so many Joes like flying around today. It's crazy. Okay, so you like that Othani play. Interesting. Alrighty. Well, now we are going to relax, move into a little bit of a cannabis game. It's very much like the sharp versus square 2-minute drill that we just played, except this is with cannabis facts. And yeah, if you have any other games, of course, feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm happy to break it down, analyze them for you, tell you what I think about them. And I'm gonna enjoy some cannabis. Wake and bake. So we're basically going to be doing the sharp versus square game again, just like the 2-minute drill, except this time it is with cannabis, because there's so much confusion in the cannabis field out there. A lot of people don't really know like where to get good information, what's going on, and that's what we're trying to do here on Sports Betting Illuminated. You know, I'm passionate about being a cannabis advocate and teaching people like the real ways that could help benefit you. You don't really learn that stuff when you go to dispensaries or, you know, if you're just talking to your buddies smoking weed. So let's talk about this one. Choosing strains based on name and THC percentage. Is this like a sharp or a square move? What do you guys think? A lot of people do that. I've seen that happen all the time where dispensaries you go in and all they give you is literally just the percentage. That's it. Like in these dispensaries. Okay, you're saying that's square. Square, square, square. I love it. Hell yeah. Bong hit for everyone getting that right. That's okay, Super James, no worries. That is true. THC content is the way everyone shops, but it is completely square because THC alone is not going to determine the quality of the cannabis or the effect. In fact, a 33% THC flower with, you know, really no terpene profiles is not going to give you that full experience where, you know, cannabis rich in terpenes that's fresher, you know, like is going to give you. So yeah, just choosing and dispensaries make it hard, you know, they don't make it easy for people to shop on anything based other than THC percentage, and that's it. Like that's what most dispensaries, that's all they give you, which is kind of it's too bad, you know. All right, so is this sharp or square? Using a myrcene rich strain before bed. Myrcene is a terpene. We talked about this a little bit. So using this before bed to help you go to sleep, is this sharp or square? What do you guys think? Sharp? All right, this is a little bit of a tricky one, so feel free to take your time with it. Hey, Super Pro. Sharp. You guys are on it. Using a myrcene rich strain will definitely just help you fall asleep. Myrcene is actually known, it's been tested, like in various, scientific studies, and it's been proven that it really does have sedative and muscle relaxing properties to really allow you to relax, fall asleep, and get that good night's sleep that, like, I know everyone is craving. Like, when I hit the pillow, I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night. I don't want to, like, be tossing and turning. I just want a good night's sleep, or else I just don't feel like myself the next day. It's just plain and simple. That is sharp. So next time you're at the dispensary, asking them, like, what's a myrcene rich strain if you're just looking to go to sleep. That's what to look for. All right. Sativa always means it's going to be an energetic strain. Sharp or square? Is it sharp, like sativa, energy, indica, sleepy, or is it kind of square? What do you guys think? Alrighty, Tech Science coming in with square, Ken coming in with square. I love to see that. Spencer coming in with a square. That is 100% true. Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but sativa versus indica, these are just botanical names, and in fact, they're very outdated. When these names were first created, it was just to describe the plants. The indica plants were kind of like kind of like squatty, like they weren't like too big. They were just like the short little plants, like bushy, you know what I'm saying? And then the indica plants were tall, just more like Christmas tree shape, but like, more tall versus like the indica plants. So that's actually where the name came from. And then we, for whatever reason, have decided to start associating it with like energy versus not energy, sleepiness. Okay, so then what do you guys think about this? THCA flower is better than dispensary flower. Is that a sharp or square thing to think, to say, to enjoy? Thank you so much, Super Pro, for using all of my emotes over on Rumble. Like, you have that responsible better emote right over there, and all those little emotes of me. Sharp. You guys are on this. Absolutely. THCA flower from the dispensaries is oftentimes a lot fresher and a lot more potent than this flower you get in dispensaries. Like, I've seen it personally myself. Took a lot of my friends to Champs Trade Show, and these people have been going to dispensaries for years, and they said immediately, like, what is this crap from the dispensaries? I'm not smoking that anymore. It doesn't even work for me. THCA flower works for me. And a lot of that is because when you smoke THC, it converts into CBN. So it's making you sleepy, but it's because it burns, and it's turning, that's the chemical reaction that happens. When you're burning the THC, it's turning into CBN. But when you're burning the THCA, it's turning into THC. So it's a lot more of like a psychoactive, powerful effect. So definitely sharp. You guys all nailed that one. Love to see that happen. All right, what about this one? Using limonene dominant strains for daytime focus, like limonene, the terpene, it kind of has that nice, like, lemony, like, uplifting, like, citrusy profile. Another interesting thing about limonene is because, like, even though we can't, like, consume it like some animals can, we can't, like, digest huge amounts of it, we are able to apply it topically, and there have been some studies, showing that women, with breast cancer, applying limonene is actually very beneficial. But what do you guys think? Using limonene dominant strains for daytime focus. Think about it. It's a little tricky, but it does have that kind of citrusy, bright scent. So is that sharp or is it square? What do you guys think? I like my little mimosa here because it has that refreshing vibe about it. That is right. It is sharp. 100%. You guys nailed that. Lemonade just has that, refreshing, citrusy scent to it. It really keeps you energized going. So if you want to have a strain that's really going to give you energy, allow you to focus, creativity. I'm getting a little tongue twisted. Just be creative throughout the day. If you want that, having a strain that has a lot of limonene is definitely for you. So yeah. Okay. Now this one's a little bit of a tricky one. Dabbing at high temperatures for bigger clouds. Is that sharp or is it square? What do you guys think? I'm gonna sit back here, have a little bit of a cannabis hit. Yeah. Loving this Maui strain. Really nice. All right, I see some comments coming through saying that this is square. Man, you guys are so good at this. Seriously. Dabbing at high temperatures for bigger clouds is a little bit square, unless like you really love the bigger clouds. But high temperatures really do destroy a lot of these, like the fragile terpenes, and some of the stuff is a little bit more delicate, but it also can increase like toxic byproducts like benzene. So when you're dabbing at these high temperatures, it's important to understand like there are toxic byproducts that happen, and just to use it in moderation and be responsible. But I would say like a lot of people like to dab between 500 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit to preserve flavor, but also get the function out of their dabs. So yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to do it at a lower temperature, but I also, for the most part, I gotta admit, I use the torch a lot, and you just don't really know how hot it gets, especially if you're not like taking a thermometer to it and measuring it. So it gets a little tricky sometimes unless you're using like one of those like e-tools, like electronic dabbers and things like that. Alrighty, well you guys have nailed this cannabis game. You guys crushed the 2-minute drill where, we were throwing out a lot of bets, and some of them are pretty tricky too. And you guys, I've definitely proven that your handicapping skills are sharp. Really sharp, and I'm so happy to see that. Congratulations everyone. Thanks for playing along with these games, and that's all I have for you for the Sports Betting Illuminated stream. I would say right now the games that I like, I already gave out my best bet of the day. That's the under in this Giants White Sox game. I also like the under in this Padres Reds game, so I'm taking a bit of unders today. But yeah, this Mariners game, this is looking pretty interesting. This Mariners Rangers game, keep your eye on this because it does seem like a lot of late action has started to develop, and I'm going to analyze this, break it down a little bit more, and of course give you my full analysis in the morning report, which you could sign up for. It's free. It goes out every day. It's gone out for over 700 days. Can you believe that? And I don't know, I'm just happy that no matter what, like rain, snow, sunshine, like I'm out there making sure you guys are getting the best sports betting information, using the morning report, the daily report as like a toolkit to using the morning report as a toolkit to just help you become a better handicapper, reading the key there to, explain how I make my analysis, where the pro money is going, where the Joe money is going, sports news every day, the health corner is a lot of fun, and of course my picks of the day and a picture of me every day at the bottom of the email is a lot of fun. So please tell your friends, tell your family where to get this email. You could just get it at arielcalista.com by clicking the Stay in Touch button. but please share it with others. I'd love for you to tell other people about it. You know, we could really grow this list, email list together, and really build our sports betting community, because you know, that is what's important. Building a strong handicapping community where you could all come in and exchange, you know, smart wagering information and give each other tips and encourage winners, you know? I mean, that's what's fun about wagering, is winning, and, you know, by lifting each other up and promoting each other to do well, I think that's how we all win together. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Sports Betting Illuminated live stream. Yeah, 700 plus days. I'm gonna have to actually count, because this it's been going out for a while, but I know it's been over 700 days. I'll get you the exact number though. But have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for leaving a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel, so you get notified whenever I go live. My next Sports Betting Illuminated live stream is going to be on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I would love to see you all there again. Thank you so much for stopping by this live stream, and I hope you have a wonderful winning weekend. See you all next time.